I'm Victoria Jane, and this is GigPigs from the studio, and I'm joined on the sofa right now by NinaRosa.
Hello.
Wearing red and looking like...
with the red hair.
Very stylish.
Thank you, I should throw it on.
I love it. But talk to me about, because you're from Jersey originally.
Yeah.
And do you know what? This is going to sound really bad, but I always thought Jersey wasn't close to the UK.
Do you know, loads of people, the amount of people that think, like, I've had, like, people on nights out be like, but you're not American.
Yeah,
and I'm like, no, like, if that's New Jersey, there's got to be an old Jersey somewhere. Yeah, it's, like, so close, but, I mean, it's closer to France as well, which is always so fun.
That's nice.
We can do we used to do, I think they still do it now, in COVID they took a break, but you could do, like, day trips to France, so you just get the ferry in the morning, go, like, have lunch in France, in St. Malo with your friends, have some drinks, and just ferry back.
No
like,
way.
Yeah.
That
was so fun. Yeah.
That's alive. What's the music scene like there, though? Oh, is there a lot of musical people?
There is, like, it's like a really creative place, like, musical theatre-wise, dance, like, acting, like, there's so many, like, different, like, academies and, like, schools that teach it and stuff. From, like, a live perspective, though, and, like, even now, like, I'm thinking, like, do I ever want to go back to Jersey? And I'm like, I wouldn't know if I could, because, like, what would I do there? Like, there's, like, a couple pubs that have, like, stages, but I'm like, would I just gig there every week or stuff like that? There's, like, a really large DJ community at the moment. Like, there's always events going on there. But from a live music perspective, I don't really think there's that much going on. I bet there's going to be, like, someone from Jersey watching, like, there is, you just oblivious. So I'm like, oh, mug. But as far as I, like, know and I'm aware, there's not much going on from, like, a band perspective. We have, like, one festival a year where they get, like, a few acts over and stuff. Like, I think last year we had James over and stuff. So, like, I went to that growing up. But I remember the first time I went to, like, a proper festival, I thought Jersey, like, it's called Jersey Live. I think it's changed now. It's called Weekender now. They had a little rebrand. But it would be, like, the biggest event of the year. And I remember, like, getting ready with all my friends. Like, oh, like, I'm going to go see, like, Fatboy Slim tonight or something. And then when I went to, like, I thought it was huge as well. Like, if you lost your friends, I was like, oh, my God.
Oh, yeah.
And then I went to my first, like, I think my first ever festival in the UK was Reading.
Oh, wow.
When I was, like, 17. And now that's, like,
is...
it made me realise that it was literally, like, I was just in, like, Platfields Park or something. That was the size of the other one. So.
It's Reading and Leeds Festival.
Yeah.
It's a mad experience.
Exactly. So, yeah, as far as, like, music scene, I think Jersey Live / The Weekender, that's what it's called now. That's, like, the biggest highlight of the year. But other than that, pretty
and you've moved to Manchester now.
Yeah.
You're at the Royal Northern College of Music.
Yeah.
What has the experience been like transitioning to being in Manchester and studying there as well?
I loved it. Like, with it, like, the minute I came here, I was like, I'm settled now, like, I'm staying. I'm sold. Found my people. Jersey was just so, like, I love it there. It's so beautiful, but it's just so small. Like, everyone knows your business. Everyone knows everything. And even from, like, a musical point of view, like, I lacked a lot of creativity there because it is so small and I don't know. I think you're kind of confined even in what you're doing. So the minute I came to Manchester, I was, like, completely sold. Like, joining the RNCM as well was, like, the best thing because you just meet so many other people like-minded. Like, like, I met all my band there and stuff, so that's great. Like, and you just make so many, like, connections and you're, like, networking bits with your best mates and stuff like that, and it's, like, people who have equal goals as you, so it's really good.
That was so good. And you spoke to me a little bit briefly about what happened with your voice. You had a kind of perfect moment.
I did.
Which is crazy.
Yeah, I had a little, I like to call it my hiatus.
Okay,
so, the 2 years off with multiple misdiagnoses. Is that even a word, diagnoses?
I think so, yeah.
And then eventually got told it was something to do with my edema. So that's, like, it's really rare and crazy and whatnot. But, yeah, it was like mad to even think that this time last year I wasn't even singing anymore. Like, I was, like, convinced that was it for me. Like, I was shot and I was done. Shout out to the NHS and the surgeon who figured out what was wrong with me after, like, 2 years of people being like, ooh. And yeah, it's like that, it was, like, crazy. And I'm really grateful now to be able to sing. Like, I know my voice is probably never going to be what it used to be. Like, it's always got its, like, flaws. And my vocal coach says I'm, like, since my surgery, I'm like a toolbox, but all my tools are in the wrong slot. So, like, sometimes I'll just squeak. Because, like, yeah, like, especially when I'm singing, like, placement-wise, I really have to think about it now. Like, if I want to go up into my head voice, it's like, I'm, like, cogs are turning. And, like, one wrong thought, and I'm just, squeak or something. So I'm still, like, trying to get the muscle memory back and everything and really feel settled, like, in my voice again. But like, just grateful to be singing again as well, which is like the main thing, and being able to like continue on my like original artist project and stuff, because at one point I was like, that's it, I'm gonna be a barista, I'm gonna take up something else. I was like, I really should have concentrated on the tech side of like music, because then I was like, at least I could do something in music. But I was like, I would not be hired to do any kind of sound engineering.
And look at you now though, you're singing.
True.
Is it really helpful to have a vocal coach then? Have you always had...
Yeah, well, I've always had singing like lessons growing up and stuff like, and then at the RNCM they provide you with tutors as well.
Right.
And just the specific one I have, shout out Soyam. She is my queen. I love her so much. Like she just know. I don't know. She's the only one who like, since surgery as well, has really like been able to hear. Like she just knows, and we know each other really well. So it really helps, because I'll like come, and I don't know if it's like maybe more of like a blanket thing, or like what's the word? Like I'm jinxing it in my head, but I'll come with a song and I'm like, I'm really struggling on this bit. The minute she says like, try this, or like, I just need to hear it from her or hear her do it, it like sits and it clicks, and then that's it, it's fixed. Like, and then I'll go back to these same songs and she'll be like, just use what I taught you in those songs on every other song. But like, unless I've sat in the room and done it with her, for some reason my brain doesn't do it. And I don't know if she's just become kind of like my lucky charm and the person I like rely on heavily when I'm trying to like nail something in a song. But she helps like so much, like really get me on going.
That's so mad. It's interesting to know that.
Yeah.
Like, really interesting.
Yeah.
So talk to me about gigs, because you've done quite a few gigs.
Yeah, well,
definitely more to come.
Yeah,
you
definitely.
Just did the Club Academy.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, and you're
crazy.
also doing a festival.
Yeah,
you're doing. Well, you supported you and Sim, who we've had on the sofa as well.
Yeah, well, it was meant to happen in April, but it got postponed, unfortunately.
Really?
So it's happening in August now.
So it's still happening?
Yeah, it's going to be at the Deaf
So
Institute.
you are supporting you. We've had him on as well. He's a great guy.
Yeah, he's lush.
So it's nice to see you doing so many gigs. Like, how do you prepare for a gig?
How do I prepare for a gig?
Yeah.
God, it's very like, because I wasn't gigging at all, and then like really luckily, I don't really like, you know, I say to myself like, oh, it's all down to luck, but then also I'm like, it was like hard work and determination as well, but I like to self-deprecate, so I'm like, oh, I'm just being lucky. But like going from none to like getting quite a few, and like Club Academy was only the third time I'd ever done my set. Like it's actually, I don't understand how that happened and how I got that, but like my preparation therefore is like still like I'm not too sure myself. Like I kind of just got thrown into it and everything. Half the time it's me relearning my lyrics. I don't know why. I could write, like I've written all my lyrics, but for the life of me, I'll just lose. If I lose like concentration for 1 second, it's straight out. So half the time I'm always just like backstage like with my lyrics and stuff. Like weeks prior as well, I'm always like really, especially since like surgery and stuff, I'm really like vocally aware. So like I won't, if we go out with friends, like I'm literally stum. I'm like,
I get what you mean.
I look so moody or something. Like especially backstage, like once I've done my warm up and stuff, I'm just really gentle. Like if people are kind of talking to me before a gig, I'm just like, I'm like, oh, I must look like really like lower down. But then, exactly.
What a lot of people don't understand is that's your like everything.
Oh my God, yeah.
That's your job as well. Like, you know what I mean? So when you're like being quiet, you have to take those steps.
Exactly. Like I always think that as well. It's like I did at uni as well. Actually, one of my courses we had to do like this kind of essay and like blog style work for our professional engagement, and I did mine all on like vocal health and stuff. And I did like loads of surveys and stuff, and it was like just speaking to the singers, and it was like the pressure of maintaining your voice. Like we use it every day. We speak. We do everything. Loud environments. Whereas like my band, they could just like. They could go out the night before, scream their faces off, absolutely go crazy. You're still going to perform. Whereas I'm like, no.
Especially when you're a chatty person, it's very hard to do.
I'm such a chatty Cathy, and I really need to learn to stum. Like, it's so bad. Like, I'm my own, like, worst enemy, because, like, I'll be really aware that I'm doing it too much, but I just can't shut up.
I feel you. I wanted to ask you as well, like, are there any artists who you really take inspiration from in your music? And are there some artists that you'd love to work with in the UK? Oh my God, so many though. It's like pipe dream, isn't it? It's like I absolutely love Leanne Havas. Like, oh yeah, love Queen. Her. Like every set, I'm like cover of hers in there. That's going to be done.
I love, like, when I first started writing, like, especially, like, me and my drummer, we did a couple of songs together. It was, like, Jill Scott, like, Patrice Rushen, like, all them. Like, it was, like, very, like, old school, like, soul. Yeah. So then, like, I take a lot of inspiration from. As far as working with, I mean, I'd work with anyone. Like, I'm not picky, but, like, I'd love...
There must be some, like, dream artists.
In it, but then I'm like, is that achievable?
No, listen, you got to put it out there.
Self-deprecating, I'm literally like...
No, you have to put it out there.
Oh, who would I want to work with? Literally Leanne, like, I'm literally obsessed with her. Oh, I would love to work with Leanne. I love Esperanza Spalding as well, that she's like... I couldn't work with her because she just... I'd look ridiculous, like, stood next to her trying to produce something as good as her. But,
That's some good choices. And when you're, like, writing a song, like, what is your songwriting process?
I take a lot of it from, like, it's, like, all, like, life experience. Like, half the time, like, if I'm not writing, it's because I've, like, got nothing new to write about. I'm yet to write, like, a happy song, which I've really noticed. Not that I'm sad, but
it just comes.
Yeah, it's just easier to write about things that are, like, I don't know, like, it just comes more naturally. Like, the idea of me, like, writing about something happy, I feel like my lyrics would just be naff. It'd just be like, I'm happy. Yeah. like, on, like, Rhyme Zone, like, trying to find something, like, I'd be so bad.
Rhyme Zone is it?
But, no, yeah, I just think, like, a lot of it's just, like, inspiration from, like, what's going on in my life and stuff. Like, it's quite a quick process as well. Like, I literally, like, our newest song, I literally got aired, and, like, the next day, I got aired by this guy, rude. And, like, within a day, I was, like, song. Like, I was, like, I was having, like, a Taylor Swift moment, you know, when everyone jokes about her songs being about exes and stuff like that. But, yeah, I just take it from whatever's going on, and I'll just, like, quickly put it together.
So and now, like, you're, like, back to writing and stuff. What's next? What's coming up for you?
I really need to record and release stuff. So a lot of my stuff was quite old, and then we've got some new stuff since I've come back. And I kind of was like, I'm such a perfectionist, like, I'm so fussy. I was like, whatever's my first release, I want it to be perfect. But then a lot of my old stuff it sounds a bit different to some of the newest stuff as well. So I was like, I really need to kind of pick my trajectory, so that's how you say it, and go with it. So I was like, in my mind, I was like, I'm going to gig loads, gig the material, see what, like, people are vibing with the most, and based on that, kind of follow that direction. So I've kind of got, like, myself booked up until June, and then once that's done, I'm going to be like, right, studio time, let's get them recorded now, because, like, I'll know what I'm feeling is, like, going to be, like, received the best. So that'll be what I release.
Oh, it's so exciting.
Yeah.
It's so exciting. I'm so excited to hear you perform it in the studio.
I'm excited.
I want to ask you this last question.
Yeah.
When you have a gig, what, if you could only ask for one thing, what would it be that would be on your rider?
One thing?
Yeah. Okay, two.
I need like five.
Okay, five. Top 5 things. We'll
okay.
go for top 5.
Some kind of hardball sweet, because...
Oh, really?
I love just, like, stick to your hair sound and, like, really nice.
Yeah.
Right, this is going to sound really... an extension cable. Okay. Because I have my little nebulizer since my surgery. Yeah. But it's come with, like, a ridiculously short wire, and I'm like... I'm also, like what we were saying before, like, I'm really unorganised. So the amount of times I'll come to gigs, it's, like, out of battery, and I'm like, brilliant.
Yeah,
so I'm like, I can't be, like, lying on my, like, I'm plugging it into the wall on the floor and, like, on my stomach, like, with a little wire. Yeah. So I don't know what the extension needs, so I can just hold her.
So an extension.
Oh, yeah, literally. And then, oh, God, what's that too? Oh, red wine.
Red wine.
I can't lie, I love a glass of red, yeah. Because it, like, helps with my nerves, but then also I do really bad with, like, cold liquids, so, like, beer, stuff like that, I can't be having that, so it needs to be something that's kind of lukewarm.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
Exactly, so I'm like, a little bit of red. Like, everyone thinks, like, it's so bougie, and I'm like, it's what we can have. I think that would be the gist of it. Hardboiled extension lead for my nebulizer, the red wine. Yeah, I think that's it. I was being a bit dramatic with the 5, wasn't I?
It probably would be 5 when we think about it.
Like, when I go back, I'll be like, oh, I should have said that.
Yeah, I should have said all of that. Yeah, we'll go with that. Well, thank you so much for joining me on the
Thank you for having me.
Make sure you check out NinaRosa's From the Studio live session.